Okay, Algebra 2C, we're here working on the Chapter 7 review. This is the third page of the review packet, problems number 29 through 38. And the first two problems are rewriting the exponential expression as a radical expression. So if you notice, we talked about in class how the top number is going to be the number on the inside and the bottom number is going to be the number on the outside. So what that's going to look like is we're going to have a cubed, so the 3's on the inside. And you can remember there's like an imaginary 2 there, so the square root of a cubed. Same thing for number 30. We have the numerator, or the top numbers on the inside, and the bottom numbers on the outside. What I want you to notice is that the whole expression, 4x plus 3, is in parentheses. That means that the whole expression is going to be raised to the third power, and they're going to take the fourth root of that. So it's going to look something like this. And it's key that it's all in parentheses so that you know that the whole expression is being raised to that third power. Okay, next we're working on 31 and 32. We need to rewrite the radical expression as an exponential expression. Okay, so the number on the outside is going to be the denominator, the number on the inside is going to be the numerator. So this is going to look something like this. Okay, number 32, we talked about this yesterday in the review game. What we need to do is I'd rather you separate what is not being raised to the power so you can clearly see what is being raised to the power. So now the only thing that's being raised to the exponent is the x. Okay, that's the square root of x cubed. So this is going to look something like this. Okay, the x can be in front of the y, behind the y, it doesn't matter, as long as you have the correct exponent as 3/2. Okay, now we have about 6 more problems, and they are all solving. Okay, and remember when we solve each radical equation, we need to isolate what is being raised to the exponent, or what is taking the radical of it. So I need to isolate this y. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So now I have the square root of y equals 4. And now to undo a square root, we have to square both sides. So if I square both sides, you'll see that I should get y equals 16. Okay, we can always do a quick check. Just plugging 16 in for y. So I get 2 times the square root of 16 equals 8. The square root of 16 is 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. We are all good. Okay, same idea for 34. This whole thing is being cube rooted. So if we have the whole cube root of 6x, I need to undo the cube root by cubing both sides. So I should get 6x on the left and a negative 27 on the right. And now I'm just going to divide by 6. So I get x equals negative 27 sixths. And that can be simplified if you divide the numerator and denominator by 3. This simplifies to negative 9/2. Okay, we can always check our answer. Plugging that in, so I'm going to take the cube root of 6 times 9/2 equals negative 3. Okay, so 6 times, this is negative 9/2. 6 times a negative 9/2 gives me negative 54 divided by 2, which is 27. So I have the cube root of negative 27 equals negative 3. And the cube root of negative 27 is negative 3, so we are all good. Okay, only 4 more problems to go. 35 and 36, we need to isolate the radical first. That means I need to see how the only thing being raised to the radical is 2x plus 6. So I need to get this 8 to the other side. So if I subtract both sides by 8, you can see I should have the square root of 2x plus 6 equals negative 4. Now what you'll see is that if you were to solve this by taking the square of both sides and then solving for x, if you were to check your answer, it would come out to be a false statement. The reason being is because we can't take the square root of any number and get a negative number. So in fact, there is no solution. No solution for number 35. Okay. Now if you were to solve through it and check your answer, you can see that it would not work. Okay. Number 36. Same thing, we need to isolate. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. It's going to give me 3 over here. And now I'm going to square both sides. So I need to undo my square root, which gives me 2x minus 3 equals 9. Add 3 to both sides, gives me 12 over here, divided by 2 gives me 6. If I plug it in, we have the square root of 2 times 6 minus 3 on the outside minus 2 equals 1. So I should get,
would it be if I sat in here and waited for him?
we should get 12 minus 3 gives me 9, minus 2 equals 1. Square root of 9 is 3, minus 2 equals 1, and 1 equals 1, so we're all good. Next is the last two problems of the day. We have 37 and 38. These are cube roots, but it's the same idea because we need to isolate. So I got to subtract 7 first. So I get the cube root of x minus 4 equals negative 2. I need to cube both sides, which gives me x minus 4 equals negative 8. If you add 4 to both sides, you should get x equals negative 4. And 38 is just like 37. We need to isolate the cube root. So if I add 2 to both sides, I get 5. Now we need to undo that cube root by cubing. So I get 4x minus 3 equals 125. 5 to the third power. Add 3. 4x equals 128. And then divide by 4. X equals 32. And that's your final answer. Okay guys, Algebra 2B test is Wednesday.